Welcome to the audio newsletter of the 18th of January 2023, presented by myself, Sarah, and Kim.
This newsletter was opened by a message from NatRoad CEO Warren Clark, welcoming members to a new year. The coming year is already shaping to be another challenging one for the industry, and Mr. Clark wanted to assure members that NatRoad was here to help you and your business navigate this for another year. The biggest issue for our industry, however, is sweeping changes to workplace laws that are coming into effect 2023. NatRoad is rolling out webinars to outline the impacts and what members need to do. You'll find information in your email newsletter as well as in a separate email sent out on the 17th of January.
The first item of discussion in the newsletter was asking members, are you ready for the 3G closure? Teletrack Numman addressed Telstra's closing its 3G network due to the decline of use and growing adoption of 4G and 5G. To address what this means for your business, if you are using 3G only devices currently, including telematic devices, you will need to transition to newer 4G and 5G devices to keep your transport operations running without a hitch. For the full details on what devices will be impacted or what else you need to do, either check your email newsletter or keep an eye on the news page of our website in the coming days for the full article.
The next article addressed was the fines increase under Commonwealth legislation. From 1 January 2023, the federal government increased the cost of a Commonwealth penalty unit from $222 to $275. This is a standard amount of money used to calculate penalties for many breaches of the law. This has effect in the workplace relations and tax areas in particular. For example, if an employer breaches the general protections provisions of the Fair Work Act, a penalty of up to 60 penalty units may apply. More increases are on the way. The cost will be indexed in each of the next 3 years in line with inflation, with the next increase due at the start of the next financial year.
NatRoad has welcomed a long-awaited Productivity Commission report calling for board reforms to Australia's waterfront. Inefficiencies at the country's big container ports directly cost the economy about $600 million a year. Addressing bottlenecks and inefficiencies at container ports is in the national interest. Our view is that there's much to be gained by making simple operational changes. Members persistently complain that they are paying fees to shipping lines for the late return of containers, even where the delay is because empty container parks are full. Voluntary protocols to address terminal operators' abuse of market power should be strengthened, and NatRoad endorses a proposal to regulate landslide port changes by way of a federal industry code.
The last item in the newsletter was regarding floods across Australia, highlighting a need for greater levels of road maintenance. Before the damaging floods of last year and early this year in WA, Infrastructure Australia had already pointed out that a key challenge for regional Australia has been the maintenance of transport infrastructure, including roads, rails, and airports. The National Road Maintenance Funding Backlog was estimated to have increased from $1.96 billion to $2.2 billion between 2016 to 2018. In 2023, governments have an enormous task to rebuild and improve road infrastructure. Prior to the floods, Infrastructure Australia rightly pointed to the fact that the cost of maintaining roads in Australia is growing and the overall maintenance backlog is increasing, something members report to NatRoad on a regular basis, especially now that the full impact of the 2022 to 23 flooding is being added up. NatRoad commends the New South Wales Government for its early January 2023 announcement of further monies to assist with repairing roads which are flood affected. $500 million boost to tackle flood damaged roads across the state by the New South Wales Government. Other governments need to fully assess the flood damage and add further funding to road maintenance. This is an issue that needs urgent attention.
If you have any questions regarding the items discussed in this newsletter, please do not hesitate to contact NatRoad on 1800 272 144 or email info@natroad.com.au. NatRoad would like to thank foundation partner AEI Transport Insurance Brokers for sponsoring this newsletter.